Okay, now let me tell you what's happening on today's show. If you don't know, Friction, it's all about unsigned music, radical music of Asian origin, from Brixton to Bombay and just about every place in between. So you will hear loads of new music on today's show, but we also have a new Friction introducing artist. His name is DJ San, and I will be telling you all about him, where he's from and what he's doing just after 11 o'clock tonight. I'm going to be going back to the underground, back to the days when Asian electronic music was running things in the late 90s, and that's back to the underground after midnight. And also, the London Mela is happening on the 8th of August, and I will announce the headliner for my introducing stage. It's rather like Friction introducing, but in a live format at that Mela, and I'll be announcing the headliner for that in about 20 minutes or so, and speaking to the headliner. Oi! Anyways, time for Friction introducing.
Yo, new artists, new sounds. This is Friction introducing.
Friction Introducing is the part of the show where we introduce new artists, new talent, producers, MCs, bands, singers, anything we think needs the spotlight shone on them. And if you look at our track record over the last 4 years or so, you will see that we have picked winners, all right, like winners ourselves. That's exactly what Friction Introducing is all about. And today, I want to introduce to you Mr. DJ San. Mr. San, or DJ San. We're on the line to you. You're in India right now. Whereabouts are you? Hello.
Hi, Bobby. How are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. So, where are you right now?
I'm Delhi.
Okay, and for all our listeners, just give us a bit of an idea about your musical background and musical training.
Well, I've been DJ for the last 10 to 12 years now, and I've been producing music for the last 6-7 years. And I deal with many styles of music because basically what I'm dealing right now is with Bollywood music. You know, so in that segment, I'm not confined to one genre or, you know, a particular style. So, and I've got a couple of setups going on, and, you know, we do different kind of music with different setups.
Okay, and, you know, for us on this show, there's so much interesting electronic music, especially coming out of India. Tell us a bit about New Delhi in 2010. Is it an exciting place to be for the electronic producer?
For sure, since the last couple of years, like let's say the last 10 years, you know, it's been quite a hub for electronic music in India, and you know, there have been quite a lot of talented producers from Delhi, you know, who've marked their name on the international map. You know, there'd be many names to count actually, as compared to other parts of India, so it's been good up here.
Alright, we're going to play the track Iman, which was the first track of yours that we played on the show. And this is for all the people who may not have heard your vibe. How would you try and describe your music?
See, as I said, you know, I'm not confined to one style. Like, Iman was track for a film. And that track came through when I watched that film, you know. So while I was watching that film, I noticed that there's something happening in this film, which is that, you know, everyone in the film was going through a conscious change, you know, in the greed of money. So we thought of that track then, and it came from the film actually. And we wrote the lyrics and we took it forward. So it's like every track has a different process and a mindset to begin with.
Okay, well, we're going to play the track right now. And you, if you're listening at home, some of these tracks are really, really beautiful. Have a listen. Tell us what you think by texting in on 81869. There's just a real different vibe about some of DJ San's music. It's kind of like an early herbal zone on the show right now. So we'll, you know, begin the dancing again later on. But for now, it's all about the head music, not the feet.
बेच आ गया दौलत की प्यास में मैं खुद को ही बेच खा गया जीने की आस में मैं सांसों को बेच आ गया दौलत की प्यास में मैं खुद को ही बेच खा गया इंसान ना रहा इंसान ना रहा इंसान ना रहा हैवान बन गया ईमान डगमगा गया ईमान डगमगा गया मेरा ईमान डगमगा गया कौन है करता कौन है भरता किसकी जिम्मेदारी है कौन है करता कौन है भरता किसकी जिम्मेदारी है मुंह पे राम बगल में छुरी ऐसी दुनिया सारी है मजबूरियों का साया पलकों पे मेरी छा गया जब मजबूरियों का साया पलकों पे मेरी छा गया इंसान ना रहा इंसान ना रहा इंसान ना रहा हैवान बन गया ईमान डगमगा गया मेरा ईमान डगमगा गया ईमान डगमगा गया मेरा ईमान डगमगा गया दुनिया है कैद दुनिया में कैद कैदी है सब यहाँ किसको बुलाऊं किसको सुनाऊं इस दिल की दास्तां आजादी की डगर ये कैद तोड़ कर नेकी की राह पर मैं चला मैं चला मैं चला
You've been listening to this week's Friction, introducing artist DJ San from New Delhi in India. So, Mr. San, what do I call you? DJ San, Mr. San, or anything else?
San is fine.
San is fine, okay. All right. Tell us a bit about your influences, you know, because listening to that track and listening to some of the tracks you've sent us, you're obviously a very thoughtful fellow. You don't make cheap pop music, do you?
Basically, I've been a good observer all these years, and you know, all the things what I observe, they're in my head, and I live with it, and I think some of those thoughts come back when we're writing our music, and I try to be genuine to it, and write about stuff which is still unexplored in music, basically.
And when I hear a lot of your music, and when I hear the more interesting, thoughtful side of Indian electronica, I always kind of think there's film soundtracks in all these tracks. And I know you did some music for a film, but tell me, is there a lot of music kind of bleeding through from your scene into the mainstream Hindi film industry?
Well, at the moment it's not much, but it's once in a while when, first of all, I'm in Delhi and I'm not settled in Bombay, and I'm not from Bombay, so a lot of the film work happens in Bombay, So, but once in a while there are some films where they are hunting for new people and for a particular sound, So then I think, people like us come in.
And tell us about Siddharth, the Prisoner, the movie you wrote the music for.
Yeah, again, Siddharth the Prisoner came, the producer of the film has been, a close listener of our project, New Delhi project with Pankaj. And then he wanted something similar on the lines, but something more fresher. So, there was a friend of mine, Avinash, who I heard a couple of years back. So I thought to do a track with him because they needed a fresh voice, and they wanted someone, new to do it, who doesn't exist till now, a new singer, fresh voice, fresh idea altogether. So we tried that collaboration and it worked, and that's how that track came out.
Okay, well look, we're going to play another track from yourself. Now if you're listening at home, it's not just DJ San, you are otherwise known as the New Delhi Project. Tell us a bit about that name.
Yeah, New Delhi Project is a collaboration with me and Pankaj Awasthi, who's like a known singer. He's a songwriter and a producer from Bombay right now. He used to live in Delhi, and we started this project like around in 2004. Like end of 2004, and New Delhi Project was all about with the idea to do fresh and experimental music, which is not confined to a genre, because while we were growing up as a musician, we noticed that there are a lot of musicians who are getting divided by the stance of genres, And when usually we used to make our music, we never thought that we were making a house track or a hip-hop track or a drum and bass track, It was always coming out naturally through a melody or a beat, and then later we could say, okay, it sounds like slightly drum bassy, maybe dub, maybe anything. But, we were not confined. We could go beyond one or two styles of music, and we kept doing that, and that was the collaboration which, brought tracks like Shabko Rose and Jogi, and some couple of interesting tracks which came out.
Okay, well we're going to play one of those tracks. I'll let you take a pick and tell us a bit about it.
How about Shabko Rose? Shabko Rose is like quite a close track to us, and in fact that was one of the first tracks we started working on. So it's been quite close lyrically as well as working with Pankaj, so it was quite inspiring, that track.